This is part 1 of the Southwest. Big Bend National Park. Nicknamed the last American frontier, Big Bend National Park is in the middle of nowhere, and that's a good thing. It is named for the turn of the Rio Grande along the park's southern boundary in southwest Texas. Surrounded by beautiful gnarled deserts, the heart of Big Bend is the Chios Mountain Range. Some peaks in the Chios soar to nearly 8,000 feet in elevation. Cloaked in green forests, the lush mountains are a sharp contrast to the arid surroundings. Winding through Big Bend, the Rio Grande has served 3 of the continent's most striking canyons, Bocles, Marscal, and Santa Elena. Rafters are drawn to the waterway, and hikers climb trails that wind through the mountains, with the desert acting as a gateway to the north. There is the picture of Big Bend. The Alamo and Riverwalk. Texas' most visited site, more than 2.5 million visitors annually. The Alamo is more modest than its reputation might suggest, but the architecture of this historic mission church, now surrounded by modern downtown San Antonio, is hard to forget. Spanish missionaries established the Mission San Antonio de Valero in its vicinity of the Alamo in 1718 and worked to convert the local people to Catholicism. They began building the Alamo in 1724 after a hurricane decimated the original site. The Spanish secularized the mission in 1793. However, it was abandoned before the legendary Battle of 1836 broke out. The missionaries' one-time living quarters, the Long Barrack, had been turned into a museum that recounted Texas' turbulent past, emphasizing the memorable 2-week Battle of the Alamo. The church and the Long Barrack are the only 2 structures from 1836 that are still standing. Also on site are the serene Alamo Gardens, which provide a good spot to rest and reflect. The popular Riverwalk, also known as Paseo del Rio, forms a vibrant circle around downtown San Antonio along the San Antonio River. After the 1968 Hems Fair Exposition in San Antonio, commercial development along the Riverwalk boomed, and hotels, galleries, restaurants, and boutiques now crowd the river's banks. The river bustles with activity too. There are holiday boat parades, and river taxis are available every day of the week. Visitors can also take narrated tours along the river, which last about 35 to 40 minutes and are available daily. The Alamo remains an icon and a reminder of Texas's struggle for independence. There is a picture of the outside of the Alamo. San Antonio's lively downtown area is known for its Riverwalk, a tree-lined, flower-filled oasis of cool walkways, shops, and cafes located along the river. There is a picture of the Riverwalk. The river that's in the Riverwalk. Part of it. Space Center Houston. Located in the Johnson Space Center complex, Space Center Houston was designed by Walt Disney and Imagineering with both entertainment and education in mind. It is a perfect place for space buffs to get a close-up look at the country's space program, and younger children will enjoy its expansive play areas. The NASA Tram Tour allows visitors a behind-the-scenes look at the Johnson Space Center. Starship Gallery receives the evolution of crewed spaceflight in the United States with authentic artifacts from different space missions. The Lunar Samples Vault lets visitors view actual lunar rocks. Above and Beyond is a hands-on exhibit that includes simulations and interactive galleries. Kids can even design their own jet. For the true space aficionado, check out the Level 9 tour of Space Center Houston. Only 12 people per day are admitted on the escorted tour, which takes you right into NASA's control center and onto the observation decks of the Neutral Buoyancy Lab. The tours are available for those 14 and older. That sounds so cool, actually. I don't know a lot about space because it kind of scares me, but that sounds really cool. There's a picture of the inside of the lab, and as you can see, there's also the camera for kids because it mentioned that. Austin. Austin stands out from most Texan metropolises. With more than 650,000 people, this is no small town, although it's certainly much smaller than Dallas and Houston. Austin has a bohemian aura due in part to the University of Texas campus. The politics prevail here. Austin is Texas' capital city, and its Capitol building is the largest in the country. The aroma of barbecue and Tex-Mex cuisine hangs in the air, and nightclub-lined 6th Street is one of the best spots for live music in the entire world. Then there are the 1.5 million Mexican free-tailed bats that hang from the downtown A&W Richards Congress Avenue Bridge, which spans the Colorado River. Crowds gather from March through November to watch them emerge in moss at sunset. There's a picture of a bridge in Austin. Fun fact, my brother's name is Austin, and he was actually named after the capital city of Texas because my dad really likes the Texas Longhorns, so that's my brother's name. Guadalupe Mountains National Park. At the tip of the Trans-Pecos region, the far west Texas Panhandle, and just southwest of New Mexico's Carlsbad Caverns, the Guadalupe Mountains loom over the surroundings like mighty centurions. The rocky cliffs developed long ago when today's desert was an ancient ocean. The now lofty mountains were once a reef. As the water receded, it left fossil records of Cambrian sea life on today's craggy peaks. The modern park contains both Guadalupe Peak, which at 8,749 feet above sea level is the highest point in Texas, and McKittrick Canyon, believed by many to be the prettiest spot in the state. The former is a backpacker's dream. The summit offers sublime views of the surrounding desert. The latter is a vestige of the last ice age that explodes with color in the fall. There is a picture of the peak